Hey, welcome. So you've moved to a new country. That's a huge deal, and it's totally normal to wonder how everything works. So today, we're going to put together your very own personal rights toolkit. Think of it as a simple guide to the really important rights you have just for being you. Ready? Let's jump in.
So if you're new here, this is 100% for you. It can feel like you've got a mountain of new things to learn, right? But understanding your basic rights, well, that's the foundation for everything else. This is your cheat sheet to feeling a little more confident, a little more secure in your new home.
Okay, first things first. We have to start with this big idea that's behind the whole toolkit, natural rights. It's a really simple but powerful idea. It just means that you are born with certain rights just because you're a human being. They're not a gift from the government, and the government can't just decide to take them away. To put it even more simply, these rights are yours automatically. You don't have to fill out a form or pass a test. You're just born with them. And actually, it's the other way around. The government's main job is to be a guardian, a protector, making sure nobody messes with these rights.
So what are these rights we're talking about? Well, we can break them down into 6 main groups. I like to call them the Big Six. These are the essential tools in your kit. Let's open up the box and see what's inside.
First up, the right to dignity. This one is so fundamental. It's all about your self-worth and how you deserve to be treated by everyone, including the state.
So what does that actually mean day to day? It means you have the right to be treated with respect. No one should humiliate you or scream at you. It also protects your privacy. Someone can't just start going through your personal stuff. And it protects your reputation, so people can't spread lies about you. Next tool in our kit is, well, probably the most basic one of all, the right to life and security. This is all about you being safe and feeling safe.
It's really straightforward. It means no one is allowed to hurt you, period. And, just as important, it means the state, the government, has a job to do. It has a duty to protect everyone who lives here. The police, for example, are there to help keep you safe.
And that connects perfectly to this next tool. Okay, so what if you're accused of doing something wrong? That's where the right to a fair process comes in. It's a set of rules to make sure the justice system treats you fairly. Think of this as your shield in the legal world. You know that famous saying, innocent until proven guilty? That's this right in action. It means you can't just be locked up and forgotten. You have to be told what the accusation is, you get a lawyer, and it's up to the state to prove its case. All right, the next tool in our kit is a really cool one, the right to liberty. This isn't just one single thing. It's more like a Swiss Army knife, you know? It's got a whole bunch of awesome little tools inside that let you live your life the way you want to.
One of the most important attachments on this multi-tool is freedom of expression. Bottom line, you get to think what you want, and you get to say what you think. It's the freedom to disagree, to have an opinion, and to share it without being afraid you'll get in trouble. Another piece of this multi-tool is freedom of religion. This one's pretty simple. You have the right to believe in whatever faith you choose. You can practice it, join a community, and follow its rituals. It's your choice. And here's the other side of that same coin, which is just as important. Your liberty also includes freedom from religion. This is your right to not believe, to not be part of any religious group. Nobody can force you to follow religious rules you don't believe in. And to round out our little tour of the Liberty multi-tool, we have freedom of movement. This just means you get to decide where you want to live and travel inside the country. If you want to move from one city to another for a new job or just for a change of scenery, you can. Okay, let's move on to our 5th major right, equality. Now, this one can feel a little complicated sometimes, so we're going to look at what you might call the fine print to really get how it works. So, the heart of equality is treating people who are in similar situations in a similar way. But what if their situations aren't similar? This is where it gets a little nuanced. We've got to unpack 3 key ideas here: discrimination, distinction, and something called affirmative action. Let's break this down. On one side, you have forbidden discrimination. This is a big no-no. It's treating people differently for a totally unfair reason, like their gender or their religion. But on the other side, you have what's called distinction. This is when it's actually fair and makes sense to treat people differently for a relevant reason. Like, we make people pass a test to get a driver's license. That's a justified distinction. It's not discrimination. And that brings us to the 3rd idea, affirmative action. So what is this? Well, it's a policy that's designed to give a temporary boost to a group that's been at a disadvantage. The whole goal is to help level the playing field and, over time, close some of the gaps in society.
All right, we've made it to the final tool in our Big Six toolkit, the right to property. This one is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's your right to own your own stuff. This right protects the things you own. It covers the physical stuff, like your apartment or your car, but it also covers your ideas, your intellectual property, like an app you create. And the main point is your property is protected. It can't be taken away or damaged without a proper and fair legal process. Okay, so we've just unpacked the big six: dignity, life and security, fair process, liberty, equality, and property. That's a lot. But why is it so important to have this toolkit, especially when you're just starting out in a new place? It's because knowing this stuff is empowering. It's what helps you go from feeling like a visitor to feeling like you actually belong here. This toolkit gives you the confidence to live your life, to speak up when you need to, and to know that you are a protected and valued part of the community. So consider this your starter set. Of course, there's always more to learn, but getting a handle on these basic, fundamental rights is the most important first step you can take. Welcome. We're really glad you're here.